Hello and welcome back to BC Tech for Learning's Absolute Basics Computer Skills tutorial. My goal here is to make it so that anyone, can successfully use a computer even if you're seeing a mouse for the first time or if you have no idea what's going on. And here we are, episode 1. What better place to start than with actually plugging everything in and turning it on. So I'm going to show you how to do that with a desktop computer and a laptop. Both pretty straightforward, but hey, not everybody knows this stuff, so let's get into it. I have here a desktop computer. It's rather small, isn't it? It's a mini form factor desktop computer. You can actually get one of these for yourself through our programs for individuals if you're interested in a desktop and you qualify. These things run on electricity, right? You gotta put power to it. Start with the power cable. Got one here. Electricity starts on one end and it goes through the adapter to the other end. Okay, now my machine's got a connection for power. Do I want to turn it on right now? No, not just yet. I'd rather plug in the other stuff first because when you power on a computer, it's going to check what's all connected to it and get it ready. If you plug the stuff in after you power it on, it might not always work as well. We're going to want this thing to be able to use the internet. There's usually two options for that. There's Wi-Fi, wireless internet, in which case we just put the antenna on here. These things have built-in Wi-Fi. And of course, if you happen to have a wired connection set up, you can do that as well. Just plug it in for your Ethernet connection. These are both same thing, different ways. So this one's wireless, this one goes through a cable, but it's your network, your internet connection, your data connection either way. What's next? So it can talk to the internet, it can get power. I can't interact with it yet though. So I'm going to need input peripherals, such as the ever useful keyboard. There will be a tutorial just on this thing coming up soon. Keep your eyes out for that. Most of these guys connect via USB. Looks like that. There's some USB ports on the back here, so we'll plug that right in. And by the way, if you're ever working with a computer, you're trying to plug something into whatever port or another, and you notice it takes a lot of force to go in, that means you're doing it wrong. Stop, check everything, take another look at it, and try again. Because especially with USBs, it's really easy to try and put them in upside down, and then you push that hard enough, you're gonna break it. Not recommended. Keyboard's plugged in. I can type. Next, the mouse. And yes, as I said earlier, I want to be able to teach you what to do even if you're seeing a mouse for the first time, so there will be a tutorial just about this guy coming up as well. Mouse also connects via USB. The computer is powered. It can talk to my network, I can interact with it, but right now it's got no way to tell me what the heck it's doing because there's no screen plugged in. What's next? Display. Now this is a computer monitor, also known as a computer screen or a display. This is going to need its own power cord, so we'll plug that in. Some of them, like this one, rotates horizontally, which is very convenient for me because I need to show you what I'm doing. So again, power into your power plug, and now we can put electricity to our monitor right up here. That is a standard power cable connection. A lot of stuff uses this, especially in computers. That's one end, that's the other end. You'll get familiar with that real quick, I'm sure. All right, monitor's got power, we're able to turn it on. Last thing to do is to connect it to the PC with a video cable. This one in particular is a DisplayPort cable. There's multiple different standards. This one's DisplayPort, looks like that. You may have HDMI, you may have a VGA connection, but it's basically, for the most part, it's kind of like grown-up Legos or something like that. You just take a look at it, see, does it look like it fits? Okay, give it a try, plug it in. So we got our DisplayPort connection here, basically so that the computer can tell us what's going on, because we don't want to try and interact with it blindly unless we are very, very knowledgeable. So that's it, it's all plugged in. Got your keyboard here, your mouse here. It's a whole tangle of cables. That's because I'm doing this on camera. I'm sure it'll be much neater and tidier in your home when you're setting up your computer, but here we go. We will power on the monitor. It's going to be kind of hard to tell whether it's turned on when there's no video going to it, so now we will turn on the computer. Before I do, quick rundown of power button on a computer and just power buttons generally. So what's actually happening here. This thing runs on electricity. When you press a power button on a machine, what you're doing is you're allowing that initial flow of power to go throughout the machine and activate all the electrical components that are in there. So pressing a power button, it's very simple, but what actually happens inside can be quite complicated. So right now, the computer's turning on, the motherboard is looking at all this stuff I connected and saying, okay, what kind of device is it? Is it working at least at first glance? If everything looks good, then we're gonna boot into the operating system. We're gonna go from the motherboard system to the actual Windows operating system that's located on your hard drive. And there we go. We're in Windows. We can poke around, do computer stuff. Just one last thing about power buttons. One thing that's always an option, on any computer, you can hold this power button down for a while, usually 8 or 10 seconds, and that'll do a hard shut off, which just means it's going to stop the flow of electricity throughout the whole device. Now that can lead to problems. If you're in Windows, if you've got your operating system going, you don't generally want to do that. So instead, you kind of let the system pack up its things and get them all tidied up before the power goes off. To do that, you go into your Start menu, this button in the lower left here in Windows. This is Windows 10. You click on the universal power symbol here, and it'll give you some options. You've got Sleep, which is a partial power down, so it's going to stay on, but it's going to deactivate a number of systems to save more power without shutting down the system entirely. You can shut down, which is what I was just talking about, where it will get everything wrapped up and tidy and put away, and then cut off the power so that none of your data is harmed in the process of losing power. And of course, there's Restart, which is what I just said. It shuts down, but then it turns itself back on again. Normally, you're just turning the thing off. You want to use shutdown, not a hard reset. Now we're going to do the same thing for a laptop computer instead of a desktop computer. This will be a lot quicker, as you might imagine, because all of that stuff I was previously fiddling around with for the desktop computer is already built in to this one laptop unit. We've got the screen, we've got the keyboard, we got the trackpad here, which serves as a mouse substitute of sorts. What do we even do from here? Well, you want to get the thing plugged in so it can have electricity running to it. For that, you need the power adapter, power on one end, and into the plug on your laptop. Usually in one of the upper corners here, that is where you'll find it on almost every laptop. This thing does have Wi-Fi built in, so it can already connect to the internet wirelessly, but depending on your setup, you might want to do a wired connection. Same kind of thing as on a desktop, just find the right port. It'll look like that, and plug it on in. So now I'm going to power it on. The location of the power button is going to be different on each device. Sometimes it's around the side here, sometimes it's even up here. On this particular machine, it's actually part of the keyboard, so the power button is just in the corner here. So I'll press that to turn on the system. And lastly, I will demonstrate that hard shut off that I was talking about earlier. So there's a way to do this on any electronic device with a power button. For most computers, all you gotta do is take the power button, hold it down for 8 or 10 seconds. This is not always a good idea, as I was explaining earlier, but it can be good, say in a pinch like your system's frozen up, or you've got a virus or something that that's not letting you do what you need to do, and you just need a fresh start to maybe get around that virus, something like that. You can do a hard shut off of the machine, and that's very simple. Just take the power button, hold it down until the power cuts.